Welcome back to another Sunday prep day. As always, I get everything ready for the week. And today I'm going to do my veggies and I'm going to make some pork belly and some stock. And I'm going to make some coleslaw again. And I'm going to make some stuffed eggs. So first let me just cut up some onions for the stock and for some hutzpot. So as always, we'll start by going over the menu. So today I'm going to have sandwiches for lunch, as always, because that's the only day I have carbs for lunch, my cheat day. And then for dinner, I'm going to do some hutzpot, which is a stamppot. A stamppot means potatoes mashed with some kind of vegetable. Stamp meaning mash, and pot meaning pot. So that's onions, carrots, and potato for hutzpot. And I'm just going to have some pork shoulder chop with it. And then on Monday, here I'll have to admit that I messed up with my meal plan a little bit, because I was completely convinced that New Year's Eve was on Monday, not on Friday, even though I knew the dates. I don't know why, but so normally I do meatless Mondays, but this time I planned to do what we usually do on New Year's Eve. I'm already committed to it, so that's what I'm gonna do. For lunch, I'll have some stuffed peppers, or not stuffed peppers, stuffed eggs. So I'll make those in a bit, like a snacky type thing, because you usually just eat throughout the day. And then for dinner, I'm going to have some snacky type stuff. So from the air fryer, I'm going to do some bitterballen. Bitterballen are a Dutch thing where you have like a thick gravy with pieces of meat in it. And that's breaded and deep fried. And I'm have some other snacks for the air fryer. Just things like that. So I'm just cutting up a shallot for my coleslaw. Then what am I going to do on Tuesday? I'm going to have some coleslaw, I think with some chicken. And then for dinner, Taco Tuesday, so I'm going to do some pork belly tacos with some barbecue sauce. I was going to make some, and then I looked in my fridge and I'm like, I actually have barbecue sauce, so I'm like, I'll just use that. You've seen me make it before, so. And then Wednesday, have some broccolini, or broccoli rabe, however you call it where you're at. And I'm going to have that with some pork tenderloin. And then for dinner, I'm going to have some ramen with pork belly, and I didn't find sugar snaps in the store, probably because they're out of season, so I'm just going to use some green beans for that. And I'll use my homemade stock. I'm just going to cut this onion nice and coarse to go in my stock. This leek, I mean. How much do I want? That is probably enough. You know what? I'll just use up this whole thing. I'm just going to cut it really coarse because I'm going to take it out at the end. It's just for flavor. So we were on Wednesday as I chop up some celery for the stock as well. Wednesday, pork belly ramen, okay. So Thursday, some coleslaw. I probably have some pork belly left over, so that's what I'll use. And then I'm gonna have some more ramen, but this time with some gyoza. I don't know, I've been in the mood for ramen, so I don't mind having that 2 days in a row. And like I said, one time will be with something completely different. So pork on one day and gyoza on the other, and I'll probably just do like a chicken stock for the second one with the chicken gyoza. Here I have some whole cloves of garlic that I peeled. I'm gonna leave them whole because they're gonna go in the stock, and I'm gonna cook them down completely anyway. So let's see. I have some carrots. These two small ones I'll just quickly peel because those are gonna go in my coleslaw. Alright. So that was Thursday, and then Friday, the last of my coleslaw with some fish. I have some basa, and I have some pollock in the freezer, so either of those. Just gonna slice this nice and fine. These are tiny, so I'm not gonna bother with my slicer as I usually do. And then lastly, for Friday, for dinner, I have some salmon in puff pastry, and I'll have that with some broccoli and some baby potatoes. I'll just cut it a little bit finer. And this is just for my coleslaw. So I'll put that in with the shallots. Then I'm gonna cut this in half. One half I'll peel. And that will go in my hutspot. So I'll just half that and do little half rings. There we go. And the other half is for the stock. I'm not gonna bother peeling that because, like I said, it's gonna be taken out anyway. So I'll just do that into some really rough chunks. And since I am a little low on carrot, why not add some parsnip to the mix? Same family, slightly different flavor. So I'll do this in both my hutspot and in my stock. So I'll just peel it real quick. It's actually a brand new peeler. It's a microplane one. I quite like it. I got it the other day. So take the little tip off. And again, I'll just do it nice and fine for my hutspot. I can go with that. And for the soup, I'll just do some nice big chunks. Next, let's do some cabbage for my coleslaw. So let's just slice that nice and thin. And when I get to the end, I'll cut the core out and keep on really almost shaving it. And that can just go in with the shallot and the carrots. Then some broccoli for one meal, so I'm going to cut off some florets which should be about enough for one meal. I'll just eyeball it. This looks about enough. These bigger chunks, I'll just cut slightly smaller. Make about bite-sized pieces. Okay, that takes care of that. And I'll just save the rest for another day. Then I have some potatoes. Again, for the hood spots, I'll just quickly peel them. And I'll just cut them into quarters. Then next up, I have some green beans for my ramen. So I'll just quickly top and tail those. And next up, I have a whole load of mushrooms that I'm just going to quarter. Those are going to go in my stock. So, it doesn't really matter how you cut them. Just I want them a little bit smaller. So I have these regular button mushrooms. So I'll use a whole bunch of them to flavor my stock. I'll do halves or quarters, depending on the size. That should be plenty. And then I also have some other mushrooms. I don't know what these are called. They're the little long ones. So I'll just take some of these off. I'll put those in the stock, and also I'll use them as a garnish. So that's that. And then I just have some eggs that I hard boiled. I just used it in a foodie. 5 minutes on high pressure. And then let them natural release for about 5 minutes. And then just let them cool off. So I'll just quickly peel those, and then I'll clean up a bit, and we'll start on all the other stuff. Now in the meantime, I put my Ninja Foodi on saute to preheat. I'll just add a little bit of oil. And I'll start adding some of my veggies. So I have my onion here. I'll put in about half. And I'll throw in my cloves of garlic and the leek, the celery, and the big chunks of parsnip and carrot. And I'll add a pinch of salt. So while that is softening, I'm just going to cut my eggs in half. And then I'll put the yolk in this bowl, and the whites, I'll keep them separate. And I'll just grab a fork and I'll mash these egg yolks up a bit. Add a pinch of salt, a little bit of pepper, some mayo, and what we use in the Netherlands is curry ketchup. If you can't get that, just use some ketchup with some curry spices. So now I'll just mash that all together. Give it a little taste. Yep, I like that. So we'll just transfer that to a piping bag. If you don't have a piping bag, just get a plastic bag or something and snip off the corner. Or you can actually just use 2 spoons as well. But I'm just going to use a piping bag and pipe this mixture into the white halves of the white. And there we go, some eggs for tomorrow. Now that the vegetables have softened a bit, I'm gonna throw in my mushrooms. And I'll let them briefly saute as well while I work on the pork belly. So skin side up, and I'm just going to score the skin and the fat. First one way. And then I'll turn it around and I'll score it the other way, making a little diamond pattern. And I'll just put that skin side down on top of all the vegetables. I'll add some water. And I'll turn my Ninja Foodi to pressure cook. And put the lid on, make sure the valve is closed, and pressure cook that on high. This is a smaller piece, so I'll do 40 minutes. And while that's doing its thing, we'll make the coleslaw. So I have my shallots, carrots, and cabbage. So add some salt, add a little bit of pepper, some mustard, and some mayo. And give that a little mix. I'll give that a little taste, see if it needs anything. No, that is ready to go. So I'm gonna quickly clean up a bit, and then I'll see you when the pork belly is done. Alright, the pork belly is done. Now when I want to use that, I'm just gonna cut off a piece and air fry that, and then slice it after that. But I want to get it nice and crispy. And then the braising liquid, I just strained that and let that cool down, and that will be the base for my ramen. So I still have some miso paste in the fridge, so I'll add that when I go make the ramen. So, and that was all the prep work for this week. So if you like this, I do this every single Sunday. And yeah, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Until next time, bye for now.